Imagine stepping onto a dealership lot, opening a car door, and, folding the front passenger seat completely flat into a literal bed.
Like, not just for camping either.
Right, exactly, for a nap on your lunch break. That is basically where the modern urban EV market is at right now.
Yeah, we've kind of stopped racing just for battery range and started racing for, well, living room features.
Exactly. So, in this deep dive, we are putting three radically different design philosophies head to head. We've got the BYD Dolphin Surf, the Dongfeng Box, and the Citroën EC3.
We really want to bypass the glossy marketing brochures to figure out which one actually fits your daily life.
So, let's start with the engineering.
Right, because if you care about pure battery technology, the BYD Dolphin Surf just completely resets the baseline for this class.
Wait, really? Because I've seen all those ads for the Dongfeng Box shouting about some revolutionary semi-solid battery. So how does BYD claim the crown here?
Well, it comes down to the fact that BYD actually manufactures its own batteries. They build their cars on a native electric platform.
Meaning the chassis was designed from day one specifically for a battery, right?
Exactly. Not just adapted from a gas car. This maximizes interior space and structural safety. And the Dolphin Surf uses their signature blade battery.
Oh, right, the blade battery. I've heard of that.
Yeah, so instead of a bunch of cylindrical cells packed together, they use these long, flat battery blades. They actually act as physical, structural supports for the car itself.
Wow, so the battery's actually holding the car together.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes the pack incredibly durable and, space efficient. Plus, it has a class-leading 156 horsepower, so it dominates on performance.
I mean, that makes the Dongfeng marketing feel a bit, I don't know, like buying a smartphone for a software update that hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy, actually.
Because the semi-solid tech sounds amazing, swapping out liquid battery electrolyte for a gel to boost energy density. But in Italy right now, in 2026, the Dongfeng you actually buy just uses a standard LFP battery.
Yes, lithium iron phosphate. Literally the exact same heavy, reliable, basic chemistry you'd find in a base model Tesla.
So no magic semi-solid battery yet.
Right, the much-hyped semi-solid version won't hit the mass market until 2027. So today, that Dongfeng offers zero advantage in range or charging speed.
So Dongfeng is basically hiding its average battery behind luxury. That explains the bubble design and that diamond-stitched interior.
Exactly.
Mm.
Since they can't win the battery race right now, they pivot. They try to make the cabin feel like a boutique hotel.
Hence the fold-out bed we talked about.
Yeah, it's a very smart deflection. They use all these premium soft touch materials everywhere to distract you from the spec sheet.
Right.
But then you have Citroën, who took the exact opposite approach with the EC3.
You're stripping all that luxury out. Right.
Exactly. They use smart cost hard plastics inside so they could afford to over-engineer the suspension.
Which is honestly crucial because a fold-out bed is pretty useless if I'm spinning my coffee every time I hit a pothole.
Absolutely. Citroën uses a system called progressive hydraulic cushions.
Oh, how does that work?
Well, instead of a traditional metal spring just slamming against a solid rubber stop on a bump, they use secondary hydraulic shock absorbers.
Like a sponge.
Exactly like a sponge. They dissipate the kinetic energy, creating this flying carpet effect over rough roads. The BYD and Dongfeng simply cannot match that.
A flying carpet ride sounds great, but let's talk about the real world, like road trips and broken parts.
Ah, the practicality test.
Right. If I'm low on juice, trying to charge a 60 kilowatt Dongfeng battery versus a 100 kilowatt Citroën battery, I mean, that's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose versus a fire hose.
Yeah, let's translate those numbers to your actual commute. With the Citroën charging at 100 kilowatts, you can grab 60 miles of range in the time it takes you to drink an espresso.
That's fast.
But the Dongfeng maxes out at 60 kilowatts.
Yeah.
So you were sitting at that exact same rest stop for twice as long.
Ouch. And what happens when a sensor fails or I need a physical repair?
This is really where the maintenance networks dictate your reality. Citroën has the massive Stellantis network behind it.
So you'll find a workshop in almost every single province.
Everywhere, yeah. BYD is scaling up fast, though. They have agreements guaranteeing replacement parts in 48 hours.
But the physical network isn't quite as dense yet.
Not quite. And Dongfeng is the newest arrival. Their network is completely in its infancy. You have to be very strategic about where you buy and where you live with them.
So if you're standing on the lot comparing these three, your choice is actually pretty clear.
Definitely. If you drive rough roads and want the peace of mind of a massive service network, grab the Citroën EC3.
Right. And if you want top-tier battery integration and a mature software ecosystem, You drive off in the BYD Dolphin Surf.
But if your goal is turning heads with a unique design, and you value a cabin that functions as a plush lounge, the Dongfeng Box is your pick.
It definitely changes how we think about the morning commute.
It really does.
And as battery specs inevitably level out across all brands over the next few years, it leaves you with a serious question. Are we going to stop buying cars for how they drive and start buying them entirely for their living room experience?